the North will not vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027 election was not only insensitive but also unpatriotic. The ACF could not have spoken the mind for the people, could not have spoken for and on behalf of we Yorubas in Kwara and Kogi states, which of course are part and parcel of the North by accident of political geography. It is too early to start talking about 2027 election now. It marks of diversionary in the face of multiple challenges confronting Nigeria at present. What about the poverty, hunger, anger, high cost of living that is gradually killing the living in the land of living? What about kidnapping, banditry, Boko Haram, out of school children? All these malice are more prevalent in the North than any other part of Nigeria. As a matter of fact, more than 30 million out of school children are in the North. So the ACF couldn't think of solutions to all these problems. So they are talking about 2027. Who knows who will live up to that time? That you cannot face the problem, the current problem. But one surprise to me is, why should the North continue to behave like a fish outside the water each time they lost out in power game in this country? After all, 10 out of 16 head of state or head of government produced in this country were from the North. Only 6 are from the southern part of Nigeria. One would have thought that the North would have exhausted all the tricks in the books to have made the northern part of this country an El Dorado, a place, an enviable place, conducive for investment, conducive for security, and economic self-reliance. No, they are not thinking along that line. They are thinking of how to grab power. It is high time the truth is told to our people that this entitlement and born to rule mentality should be expunged from our, from our thinking. Nigeria belongs to all Nigerians, and every Nigerian has a right to aspire to the highest position in this country. And that was why the political leaders, made the presidency rotatory between the North and the South. And as a matter of, intransigence, the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, insisted that he must disrespect that principle in the 2023 general elections. And that was what tore the umbrella of the PDP into shred now, that cannot provide shelter to anybody again. So, you see, they must learn that power must reside in the South until 2031, God willing. Alága Àríwá Consultative Forum yóò sọ yòówó èní yòówó ilẹ̀ Àríwá ẹ̀ ní dìbò kó Bọ́lá Tinubu, ọ̀rọ̀ ń wé sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ torí wí àwa yá àjẹ́ Yorùbá yá ń bẹ ń Kwara àti Kogi, àwa ìfaramọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ ìpè á sì ẹ̀ sì lè sọ̀rọ̀ lórúkọ wa.
The fact is very clear. As I talk to you today, INEC has not provided polling unit by polling unit results in very clear terms as demanded by law to convince Nigerian people on who won the election. That is what the law demands from INEC. And I'm talking about section 62, subsection 2 and 3 of the Electoral Act. Whether it is a pre-election or post-election issue, the law says INEC should update, compile election results on polling unit by polling unit basis throughout Nigeria, and whoever wishes to receive a copy of it should be given one. As I talk to you today, INEC has not done it. What are they hiding? Some people are out there being mouthpiece to a failed organization that could not even live up to the dictates of the law. They just brought up figures and announced to the whole world, shamefully, after months of such declaration, 18,088 uploaded results are still blurred, blank, and nothing given by INEC. There is no court judgment that can overrule that, because we were given such things from the...
Hello guys, welcome back to Luka Banga. I think I don't hear within Kenneth Okonkwo talk about within INEC do us to 2027 election. Although normally we know say okay, no be Tinubu win the election normally. We know say na rig and you know, some Notherners where we say they vote for and then make am win that time. You understand? I bet now, now Notherners leader now, they don't want their people now to vote Tinubu for the 2027 upcoming election. We'll be saying they come. Though me I get joy because this thing I give good news to all the Labour Party's supporters, because as God don't create fight between Notherners and Tinubu now, hope see everything will come normal for 2027 for us. Obi must win the 2027 election. You understand? Because they don't dey against themselves now. If Notherners leader now say they no go vote for Tinubu now, everything now it don't clear for 2027 be that. You understand? Because you know say Northern side they get population though, and many of them not too, you understand, because they're confusing. But now when we say okay, they are leaders now, don't want them to make them no votes because of this tax bill where we say income. Tinubu say they want they collect, and because of that one they don't dey against Tinubu now. Though this thing are good news for to us where we say we obedience, and obedience I will be, and him it will be forever, and he must win the 2027 election where they come. But before you play this video now, before you continue to watch this video, I beg make sure say you share this video, make go viral. And if not today be the first time we say you come across this our channel, I beg subscribe to our channel so that anytime when we drop any update for this channel, now you go be the first person where they go notify. Thank you.
Ghana's election was just held some days back, and Nigerians seem to have learned a few things from it. And Nigerians have been talking about break the 8. That's a phrase in Ghana where no administration had stayed beyond 8 years. Now, the ruling party felt they could break that. No party had stayed in power longer than 8 years. The ruling party, now, you know, they've been shoved out, thought they could break that by ensuring that they win re-election. But unfortunately, they couldn't break the 8, as Ghanaians insisted that, look, we give you 8 years, you're done. If you don't do well, we take you out. I will try someone else. Do you think Nigeria might toe that line? Should we be thinking about breaking the 16 this time around, because the PDP spent 16 years, APC seems to be gunning for 16 years?
If you look at what is coming from the north, I think in 2027, the only region that will elect Tinubu is the southwest, because from the look of things, Tinubu is now the president of the Yorubas. It's as simple as that.
What if something changes?
He's not even trying to change, it's getting worse.
So you don't think that there remaining 2 years be favorable to Nigeria?
It is not going to change because this thing is in the DNA of somebody. You see this tribal sentiment. When it is in somebody's DNA, there's nothing you can do about it. For somebody who said he wants to reform Nigeria, do you reform Nigeria by tribal sentiment, for God's sake? Please, somebody should answer me. Is it how to reform Nigeria that all the appointments are all for the Yorubas?
Barrister, was it any different when Buhari was?
Well, Buhari is gone. We are talking of now.
My point here is this: with the North feeling aggrieved, do they have a right to feel aggrieved? Because their own kinsman, Buhari, was in power at some point, and he made sure he elected more people from the northern part of Nigeria. Should they be feeling aggrieved?
Now, hold on. From your own mouth now, tribalism has become a policy of state in Nigeria.
I didn't say that.
Buhari is gone. We are talking of Tinubu now. That's what I'm telling you. He's the one in charge now. Why can't he reverse all the bad things Buhari did in office? So that when they talk of reform, I can now listen to him. That's what I'm saying here. You cannot be telling me you are reforming Nigeria, but you are making things worse. There is no reform here now. You are just reforming.
They started, let me draw a pattern for you here. They started with the increase in the price of fuel. That was a direct and indirect tax. Then they moved on to electricity. Then they moved on. They increased electricity by 300%. Then now, they have moved on. Do you know that this is not the end? Because as I'm talking to you, not just the telecommunication companies that are coming with their own increase, but also the head of the Presidential Tax Committee has said that they are going to increase VAT. Value-added tax needs to be increased. So they want to increase your value-added tax. They want to increase your electricity by 300%. They want to increase your fuel by 300%. And right now, because of fuel scarcity, people are paying 400, 500, 600% increase. When we tell you that poverty is weaponized and intentional, this administration, this is not a coincidence. I have just mentioned 4 direct and indirect taxes. This is not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence. This is not a mistake. This is not something that, they are trying to do good, but they've made some mistakes here and there. No. When somebody slaps you 4 times, that is not a mistake. That is a pattern. That is called abuse. That is called assault. When somebody gives you 4 slaps, that is not a mistake. 1 slap can be a mistake. 2, maybe they didn't see you well. 3, you are seeing the beginning of a pattern. They don't respect you. They don't value you. This administration of President Bola Tinubu does not respect or value the Nigerian people or the average Nigerian.
Some would think that you betrayed Tinubu.
Yeah, that's their cup of tea.
You know when the news started.
Yeah, some of them even said he was the one feeding me, that he was the one who made me, he was the one who did this, who did that. Look, Tinubu has always known that I'm an independent person.
So when you guys went to him to contribute to the founding of the news,
yes,
what was the deal?
Well, I never knew him until that moment. We got to know him through Chris Mama, a former journalist who was an aide to, who later became an aide to Atiku. So he was the one who introduced us, and he said he loved our stance against Babangida, against Abiola, asking us to go and apologize and that kind of and that. Oh, he would love to invest in us. And like many other investors invested in us, and we became friends. We became allies. I mean, if anything comes up, he'll come in and seek my opinion. He will tell you that Femi will tell you straight. He will tell you the way it is. In fact, let me give you a little story. I think in year 2000, was it year 2002 or 2001? I went visiting him on January 1 with my 2 sons. One of them is a lawyer and the other is another accountant. And we just walked in there and he came down and one of the boys just shot his hand to shake him and said, is that the way you are going to greet me? I'm the governor of Lagos State. And the boy said, and so what? You want to knock my head on the ground because you are governor?
He said that to him?
It was 5, yes. I said, I'm a Babaini. That's his father's son. That kind of, just to tell you the way he perceives me. He knows that I'm not a Katawala. I'm not somebody that kowtow to people. I will tell you if you are doing well. I will tell you if you are not doing well. I will tell you what you don't like to hear. And I just put out a story in Leaders and Their Men, where, you know, when after he won, the security shows a sobriquet of what is it called now? Superman for him. You know, there's a code they use for leaders when they're guarding you. So when they're talking about you, others will not know they're talking about you. So they give him Superman. And I went to him and I said, no, you can't be a Superman. I said, there is a way it's going to affect your psyche when they begin to see you as Superman. I said, we have to choose something else, you know, because I mean, only God is a Superman.
You told him that?
I told him that, you know, how old was I then? And, you know, and what did
he accept your advice?
Oh, yes. He said, okay, Femi, what do you want them to come? I said, let's pick Eagle. And he accepted.
Eagle?
Eagle.
So, but now he's a lion.
Well, I don't know.
It's not a lion. If I had moved from the lion of Bodilum.
Let me give you another example.
Okay.
I don't know whether you want me to say it, but I think I will say it. For the sake of those who were calling me betrayer or that kind of, you know, this guy just guys who have no sense of history. He called me one day and said I should come to Ikoyi, and I went to him. I said, congratulations to me. I said, what is that? He said he has been called by Yaradua to come and be his finance minister under the government of unity. I said, finance minister under Yaradua, you are AC or ACN, you want to go? Are you not a student of history in this country? Do you not see what happened to Bolaige? I said, you are digging your political grave if you accept that kind of job. And as we were saying that, a colleague of us entered, Rauf Aregbesola, and I said, same thing to him. Aregbesola said, no, Femi is right. That's not a job to take. And that was how we killed the idea. A businessman came in to join us and said, you know, Femi, Rauf, you guys are too radical. This thing will benefit all of us. I said, no, we are not looking for that kind of benefit. We are looking for this man's survivor. He's our leader. Our dream for him is bigger than going to be a minister in the Yaradua's government. 9 months down the line, they will arrest him and try him, and they will finish him off the way they did to Bolaige, Uncle Bolaige.
So your dream for him at that time was what? Yeah,
it was, you know, that we wanted a leader. We all came around him, supplying him with ideas, helping him with his vision and everything. And, you know, I admire him for, you know, accepting our advice in those days.
It seems both of you have come a long way.
We have. So we cannot. We cannot quarrel. It's not about quarrel. It's about at a point in time, our vision. You know, taking different routes. That's all. It's not a personal thing. I'm just coming in from Lagos. I went to attend the wedding of Bayo Onanuga's daughter. Bayo Onanuga is the chief media person to Tinubu now.
And that's your man.
And that's my man. I was best man at his wedding. So people were seeing and they were saying, we never knew you were going to be here. Yeah, thank you for coming. I said, what do you think? You think we were boxing each other?
It's almost on every page is here.
Yeah,
Bayo Onanuga.
Yeah, you know. So it's not personal. Nothing about that is personal. For me, loyalty to friendship, you know, it's on a lesser scale to loyalty to country. Whatever I have to do that will uplift 200 million Nigerians, that will make Nigeria respected in the Committee of Nations, that will make us live a good life, I can sacrifice my family for that. Of course, that was exactly what I did when I fought Abacha. I sacrificed my family. My wife, I was newly married, and I was running out of the country, coming back, going to jail, being arrested. My wife was all over the town. That is a sacrifice. My children were young. Again, why did I do that? I could have lived a much more comfortable life, you know, going around collecting money from people, you know, buying fine cars, going home to sleep after the day's job and that kind of thing. But no, I knew that I had to do something to rescue Nigeria from the military. That was why I went into all that I went to.
Is that battle over?
Well, we you know, such battles come in stages. We had the battle, you know, against the colonial masters, which again journalists championed, you know. Then we had the battle for nation building in the early 60s, up until the time the military came, you know. Then the military came, we had the battle to fight the military so that they could go back to the barrack and stop the kind of destruction they were unleashing on Nigeria. Now we have democracy. You know, the challenge of democracy now is a challenge of development. We need to have journalists who can also fight that battle. You know, people will look at the budget, analyze it thoroughly, and tell the world that this can work, this cannot work. You know, what kind of economic option are we choosing that make people very poor today, that make people not being able to buy their medication, that make people, more people are getting homeless, more people are going hungry, people are giving birth to children, you know, and their father and mother cannot afford baby formula. You know, a good baby formula in the market now is about 30,000 naira, and the baby will eat it for 3 days. And if you put a man on 60,000 naira minimum wage, and that 60 naira is just barely enough to feed a baby for 6 days. So how realistic is that? You know, now coming here, living in Lagos, I had to buy fuel of 100,000, 110,000 naira to fill my car. 2 years ago, I'll feed that car with 16,000 naira. So for me now, $1 million naira is just equivalent to 100,000 naira now. So these problems have to be solved, and it's an agenda we have to put before journalists in Nigeria. You can't just look on.